It's a fact of life that we're all going to age, but that doesn't mean that your health and fitness has to deteriorate. If you're worried about what aging is doing to your body, then this episode of the Make Your Body Work podcast is for you.
Welcome to the Make Your Body Work podcast, where it's all about living healthier, smarter, and happier, and doing it one day at a time. Here's your host, Canada's top fitness professional, Dave Smith.
Hey, thanks so much for joining me in this episode of the Make Your Body Work podcast. As you know, the show is all about helping you live a healthier and happier life. One of the things that I love most about hosting this podcast is getting to read all the diverse questions that I get every single day. And it's neat because some questions are very unique and, very specific, and other ones really show a theme or a trend and really highlight struggles that many people are having. And today's question is an example of one of those. It's the idea of, I'm aging and I don't like what it's doing to my body. What can I do to slow down or stop that process? And I just want to say thanks to Elaine for writing in. This question, like I said, is on the minds of many people, myself included. So let's dive right in. Elaine says, age is just a number. That's what I've been telling myself for years, but it's getting harder for me to believe. I know that I'm not going to feel the same now at 52 years young as I did in my 20s, but the decline in my fitness over the last few years really bothers me. I've listened to every one of your podcasts, so I know that maintaining muscle is key. I've started doing that, and it actually does help me feel stronger. Of course, healthy eating is important as well, but what else can I do to stay young? I guess I just don't want to grow old, and I'm feeling feisty. I want to put up a fight. And then she puts a little winky face at the end, and I love that. Elaine, thanks so much for writing in, and it was just so neat. I love that word, feisty, that you're ready to put up a fight. You're not willing to just get old and let your body get weaker and deteriorate. And I just want to relate to you personally. I'm this year 36 years old, and I'm actually at a place now where I'm excited about getting older, but I remember turning 30 and feeling like, wow, I'm getting old and my body's going to start falling apart. And it's sort of a scary thought. What can we do? Our health is so important. It dictates so much of what we're able to do in life, how we're able to enjoy life. What can we do about it? And instead of hearing me talk about it, because like I said, I'm 36 years old, I don't have nearly the wisdom as my guest does today. My guest, she wrote to me recently and has been listening to my podcast and said, Dave, I've got a story to share. And she talks about how her health is more vibrant now at about 65 years old than it was 30 or 40 years ago. And I'm really excited to have her join us on the show today and share some of her tips, some of her experiences, and some ideas of, what we can do physically as well as mentally and emotionally to help slow down that aging process, or at least embrace the positives of it. So I'm really excited to introduce to you Louisa Rogers. Hey, Louisa, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted.
I'm delighted. We've been going back and forth via email a little bit, and I was just telling you before we started recording that I was really excited when I got your email, just because it sounded so spunky. That's the best word I can think of. Your email sounded so vibrant. I was wondering if you could start off by telling the listeners, who are you and why are you on the Make Your Body Work podcast today?
All right. My name is Louisa with an A. That's very important. And I'm standing here in my loft apartment in the town of Eureka, California, which is on California's north coast, only about an hour and a half south of the Oregon border. I am 65 years old, almost. Sorry, I'll be 65 in August. And I'm married to my beloved for who we've been getting close to 40 years, believe it or not. And I also live in Mexico part of the year, and so I have two lives. And in addition to that, I'm a consultant. I'm a business management trainer and coach, and I work with many different groups, helping them work on their strategic planning, their leadership. I'm going to Uganda, believe it or not, in June to help a group work with their strategic planning and management related to their team and board. So that's the business and career side. But I also have had a lifelong or adult-long fascination and interest in health and fitness and that kind of thing. And sometimes that's part of my revenue. I write about that, and I do lead workshops on wellness, although that's not my primary income. I just have a great love for this whole area. So when I saw your podcast and your website,